Bliss fell in love with golf when at age 10, he started a caddy at Glen Echo Country Club. He won a junior tournament when he was 14. Don played college golf at Oklahoma State, won the Big 8 championship, and received All-American honors. He was one of the most successful amateur golfers in St. Louis history. He won 4 Missouri State championships, 5 Metropolitan amateur titles. He qualified for 29 USGA championships, 15 U.S. Masters, 5 Mid-Ams, and 1 U.S. Open. And I could continue with more. But he's had a remarkable career with golf clubs in his hands, and now we welcome him in to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. Don Bliss.
Don.
Yes, sir.
Let's take you through your golf highlights that eventually made you one of the top amateur golfers to ever come out of the St. Louis area. You learned to play golf where?
I learned to play golf. I started to caddy when I was 10 years old at Glen Echo. I went to Normandy High School, so I just lived down the road from Glen Echo. And then I started playing on Caddy's Day, and that's when I got hooked and learned how to play.
And
golf.
you won your first junior tournament when you were 14. And go ahead.
Yeah, my first tournament was at Forest Park. It was a junior tournament, a JC tournament, and then I won the St. Louis Junior District. I remember Horde Harden was out. I had no idea who Horde Harden was, but he was following this. Somebody told me Horde Harden was following us over at Algonquin. And I went to Normandy High School, and so I had those junior tournament victories, and I had some success in high school, so I thought to move on. I thought I wanted to play golf at the University of Missouri, but Al Chandler was a golf coach at Mizzou at that time, and for some reason he was not interested in recruiting me, so I decided to walk on at Oklahoma State.
Right, you became a cowboy, and you did pretty well while you were in school there.
I did. That was probably the success I've had in golf. Was I contributed to first and foremost to walking on at Oklahoma State and learning how to play golf down there. It was very competitive. It's a great program. Tough weather conditions, so I played 4 years there, and those are 4 of the best years of my life.
You won 2 tournaments while you were there, including the 72 Big 8 championship. You earned All-America honors with 1 win and an 8th place finish in the NCAA tournament, and you won the Oklahoma State Player of the Year award in 1974.
Yeah, as I said, it was fond memories. My senior year was my junior year. I won the Big 8, and my senior year I won a couple tournaments and made All-American team. Had a good NCAA, and then back then there was no tour qualifying, so I did aspire to try to play the tour after my years at Oklahoma State, but I could not find a financial sponsor. I'm not sure I pursued it very aggressively, but. So after that unsuccessful effort, I decided to go to work and find a job.
And stay an amateur.
And stay an amateur.
Right. But you still entered and made the 36-hole cut at the PGA's Los Angeles Open as an amateur.
Yeah, so I started my career here in St. Louis, and shortly after I started, I was moved to Kansas City, where I met my beautiful wife, Joan. I have 2 family members here, my wife, Joan, and my son, Michael. Thank you for all your support. So I was in Kansas City and for a short time, and then I was transferred to the West Coast. And that was the second best thing that happened in terms of my golf career was competing on the West Coast. My first couple years out there, I was out there a total of 5 years. My first couple years I did not play, but my last 2 years were good years. My very last year was probably my best competitive year in that I lost to Bobby Clampett in the California State Amateur. Won down. I was runner-up in the Southern California Amateur. I won a couple tournaments in Southern California, and I made the cut in the LA Open as an amateur.
Right.
And right after that, I was transferred back to St. Louis, which I was very pleased about.
And when you were transferred back to St. Louis, you entered the prestigious, at the time, St. Louis Open in '85. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the St. Louis Open was a mini tour event. Back then in '85, there was no Korn Ferry Tour or Ben Hogan or Nike Tours, the predecessors. there was just a summer-long series of mini tour events, and Lou Fuse put up a lot of money for the St. Louis Open in Normandy. So it was the field was mostly young, aspiring professionals who aspired to play the PGA Tour. And I played as an amateur, and I finished second. Probably my best overall tournament in competition. I was the one memory I have was I was paired with Tom Wargo in the final group. It was 54-hole medal at Normandy, and we were on playing Normandy. For some of you, I'm sure, are familiar with Normandy, and I was one down to Tom. Tom was leading the tournament on 18, the par 3. It was about 250 yards, a tough hole. And I had the honors, and I knew I was one behind. I hit a 3-wood on the green, so I was 30, 40 feet away. So I thought, well, it's a hard hole, par, maybe I can catch him. And he takes out a 1-iron, because I saw the club, and hits this shot. It's the greatest shot I've ever. It never left the flag. It's about 8 feet, and that was it. So I finished second, but it was a fond memory and a great time.
Wasn't it Lee Trevino who once said, even God can't hit a 1-iron?
Yeah, all right.
I remember
so,
that.
but I did when I moved back in '81. I did something. I had a young family and I had a career, and so my golf competitive sites were really the state amateur and the U.S. amateur and some local tournaments. So that's what I focused on.
But after that, your name kind of became synonymous in Missouri with all the tournaments you won. Let me read just a couple of them. You won 4 Missouri State Championships, 2 Missouri Mid-Am titles, 5 Metropolitan Amateur Championships. You qualified for 29 USGA Championships. I could go on, but what I really want to mention is that Don also made 2 holes in 1 in the same round in the 1987 Mid-Am event.
It was, yes, it's surprising over the years how much more interest people have in that than the other things, because it really was quite fortunate, quite a lot of luck involved with that. But the one story about it was at the U.S. Mid-Am in 1987, and the first hole of the tournament for me was number 10, a par 3, and I hit a 7-iron, hit a good shot, it goes in the hole. So I'm playing around, and I play a couple holes good. I think, okay, I'm not nervous, and then I made a 4-putt, and I had a difficult time. So I'm having a so-so around with a hole in 1, and I get over to number 8, my 17th hole, and I hit a 3-iron, goes in a hole. Then I really get nervous, and then some of the USGA guys were coming out behind the trees, and so I finish off 18 and sign the scorecard, and a USGA guy asked me for my golf balls. So I handed him my 1 golf ball, and he said, "Where's the other golf ball?" I said, "That's it. I just 1 golf ball." and I hadn't thought about it for 10 years or more, and all of a sudden friends asked me why, couldn't believe I made the whole one with 1 golf ball. But there's 1 golf ball up in Forest Hills, New Jersey, because golf balls were expensive then. It was the first shot of the tournament.
Well done.
So that's my story. But
Go ahead.
I would like to thank Tim Moore and the committee. It's quite an honor to be here, and it's very humbling to be here with these other inductees and St. Louis sports icons. And I'm not sure I'm deserving, but thank you very much.
Well done. Welcome to the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame.